in honor of spooky season, I got to tell you another story. So, Tony and I drove from South Carolina to Montana. We do these cross country trips like a lot. And so I think we're about 9 miles from the Canadian border, way in the wilderness. I'm talking like 60 miles from any people. And as we're driving through this this is a densely wooded area. And it was already kind of creepy anyway because there's nobody out. However, we get to the place where we're going to hike in because we're going to hike in 2.5 miles all the way to this fire tower. They're really cool out west. So we had booked this place like a year before. We were so excited to get there. We drove and drove and drove again, 60 miles out in the wilderness where nobody could see us because we wanted to go to this fire tower. And so we're hiking in. Neither of us is saying anything, but we're both feeling something. And that something was we're being watched. Like you could physically, somatically feel eyes on you. He didn't say anything. He's a rock climber. He's a tough guy. He's not going to say anything until later. So stay with me. So we get to the fire tower and they always leave this book and people write in that book like what their experience was, how they loved the cabin or the fire tower or whatever. Well, 2 nights before somebody had left in that book that they were woken up at 2:30 in the morning to this creature standing in the window looking at them, and it was not a bear. They drew Bigfoot, a picture of Bigfoot. And we're like looking at each other going, okay, we know that we both, I was like, did you feel, like I felt weird coming here. I felt like something was staring at me. And he was like, I did too. For him to say that, that's a big deal. So yeah, I'm creeped out by then. So I sleep with my hiking boots on. I sleep with a sledgehammer because there was one in there. Close all the windows. I'm like, I don't want to see that creature if it's no. I wish I hadn't even read that book. But that's just a tradition that we do. Needless to say, nothing happened that night. We slept good, even in my boots, because I knew I was ready. Like it literally. When I get scared like that, or I get like my adrenaline's going, it's hard to hold me back. So I was going to fight for my life if I had to. But the next morning when we got up, I was like, let's go. First thing, let's run 2.5 miles back to the truck. So we book it out of there. I don't think I've ever hiked so fast in my whole entire life. And so then when we get back to the truck, I was like, oh no, I didn't. I left my glasses in the fire tower. I told Tony, I said, don't even go back for those glasses. I don't care. I don't need to see. We just need to get home. I just want to make it home alive, even if that meant going across the country and not being able to see anything. That's how freaked out I was because I felt it. This dude was like, no, we got to have your glasses. So he ran 2.5 miles all the way back to that fire tower, got my glass. I was sitting in the truck the whole time, just freaked the F out and just praying like, please come back, please come back. I've never been so happy to see him in my life. And when he got in the car, we drove out of that wilderness area. We'll never go back to Eureka, Montana. If you've been to Eureka, Montana, something crazy like that has happened to you, I want to hear about it. Have you ever experienced Bigfoot or like something crazy paranormal out there? Because those woods, the Kootenai Forest, that's what it was. I had to think about that. I won't go back. I'm good.